All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are going to go ahead and get started. So, just to give you a quick overview of the agenda, I'm going to give a brief welcome about the University of Cincinnati and our city of Cincinnati, and a brief overview of UC graduate admissions in general. And then I'm going to pass it to our wonderful panelists here today. We have Julie from the College of Engineering and Applied Science. We have Scott and Jess as well from the College of Education, Criminal Justice, Human Services, and Information Technology, colloquially known as CECH here at UC, because that's quite a long title for a college. And then we're happy to welcome Mary as well from the Lindner College of Business. So they'll be presenting more specifics on each of their colleges specifically, and then we will be happy to take questions and answers at the end. All right, I'm going to play. Some of you may have seen this already, but I do want to show a quick video of the University of Cincinnati just to really kind of portray all of the incredible things that we do have going on. All right, I absolutely love that video. I think that really just represents the energy and all of the amazing things we do have going on at UC. If you haven't been to Cincinnati yet, I just want to take a minute to brag also about our incredible city. So it's a really wonderful city located in Ohio. And why I say it's amazing, it's kind of a hidden gem. I feel that we have all of the benefits of a large city. So, meaning we have Fortune 500 companies headquartered here. Downtown is about a 5 to 10 minute drive from our campus. It's a great opportunity for research, for co-ops, for jobs after graduation. So it's also at a very affordable price point when you are comparing it to larger cities within the United States. So really just, as I said, a hidden gem within the United States and really becoming popular. So I know that a lot of international students may not have heard of Cincinnati, but definitely when they come to our campus, they feel a sense of belonging, a sense of community, and very do often choose to make Cincinnati their permanent home. And this is just a quick snapshot of price comparisons. So, kind of what I was talking about, affordability, it's obviously quite different when you're looking at Cincinnati versus San Francisco versus New York, some of those larger coastal cities. So, definitely something for students to keep in mind as they are looking at costs of living during their however long 1, 2 years, 4 years programs, but also opportunities again for getting that job after graduation. And just again, lastly, highlighting all of the wonderful things that we are happening. So it is really becoming a hub for businesses. We did host as a city the Forbes Under 30 Summit here in 2024, and just bringing in some of the top leaders, founders, creators, and thinkers into the city of Cincinnati itself to really collaborate and innovate with Cincinnati as the main hub of that. Graduate admissions, as you probably already know, is very, very decentralized here at the University of Cincinnati. So that's very important for students to understand. While there's one graduate application primarily, there are different application requirements, deadlines, all those different types of things that students will have to keep in mind. So that is also why we have our incredible guest speakers here today to kind of go through some of those key differences between each of those most popular programs and our most popular colleges. It is important to note that students will have to apply directly to their program. They are welcome to apply to more than one. It is very common. However, to note, those are going to be two different applications because of the different requirements that those programs are looking at. If students are looking at two completely different programs that they're applying to in different colleges, such as Masters of Science in Information Technology versus Masters of Science in Computer Science, as those are both in very, very different colleges, that will not affect their chances for getting admitted into either program because they are so different. Those colleges aren't even talking to each other. However, if a student is looking at potentially two things within the same college, such as Masters of Engineering and Masters of Science, Computer Science, it's good to really reach out to that college as well to kind of understand what those differences are and maybe apply to one over the other rather than apply to two within the same college. So, just a lot of those things for students to think about, as well as deadlines and turnaround time. So, while deadlines again do vary, I really do want to stress the importance of students getting those applications in as soon as possible. The applications all opened on August 1st. Students have now had about 1 month to start that preparation process of getting that application started. Really, unless they're missing something significant, like they haven't taken a GRE or a GMAT yet, or they're still waiting for transcripts to be evaluated, really, they shouldn't wait. It's a statement of purpose. Typically, there's different numbers of letters of recommendation required, but a student should not wait because the faster that they submit their materials, the more that we can connect with them, asking them if there are any additional things that we need with their application, and hopefully a faster release time for their decision as well, so that students can start knowing what they've been admitted to, if there's any, excuse me, any funding or scholarships with them. And then they can start the process for getting that I-20 and getting their visa sooner as well. So definitely encouraging students sooner rather than later, as that application has been open already for about 1 month. Typically, there are some more overarching things within grad admissions. Is there are typically no application fee waivers as well? I know that's a very common question. Students will have to pay that application fee, and it does slightly vary based on program. There is no conditional admission offered at the graduate level either, and we are not looking at the number of backlogs that a student has within their application. So this is just a quick overview of the general grad admissions processes. As I mentioned, it is the application, letters of recommendation, which do vary, personal statement, CV resume, and official test scores depending on what the requirements are, if there is GRE or GMAT. However, all students will have to submit test in English unless they qualify for a waiver. Students will have to submit all transcripts as well from universities. All students will have to submit a NACCES evaluation prior to enrollment. Some programs do require NACCES evaluation earlier in order to support the admissions process as well. So the program will let you know if that's required. And again, it's really just connecting with the program, staying on top of all of the different deadlines, the requirements that those different programs have, and reach out to us for questions. We are definitely here to help and support through this process. So as I said, that is a very, very general overview of UC and the grad admissions. And I don't want to take up too much time because I want to allow our guest speakers to have plenty of time to get more into the specifics. So with that said, I will pass it on to our first. Oh, sorry. One more thing. I apologize. I forgot my own slides. We have, these are our test of English requirements. It hasn't changed. So those are our minimums for TOEFL, IELTS, Pearson, Duolingo. We do need those official testing scores sent in. Please use the code 1833 for students sending those in directly. We cannot accept those via email. Those do have to come directly from the testing organization themselves. And overall cost. So it does, again, vary by program for tuition and fees, living expenses. It's a little bit higher this year. This is an estimated cost for 2024, 2025. So please do note the slight variations in cost per college. And lastly, students will be potentially eligible to have some kind of funding. It really, again, depends on the graduate program that they are applying to. That funding can look different depending on what kind of student is eligible for. So that could mean a graduate incentive award, which is more of just a scholarship. It can be looking at a assistantship. So that is a research assistantship, a teaching assistantship. Also important to note that a teaching assistantship does require an additional test of English, that student will be in front of the classroom. And then there are some fellowship opportunities as well, and this is more just of grants and funding that's available. So again, it's all very, very different. Students will be notified by their program what they could potentially be eligible for or what opportunities there are available. And they will also be considered for a merit-based scholarship with the submission of their application. There is no additional application for a merit-based scholarship. All right, that was my last slide. Apologies on that. And now I am going to pass it to Julie in the College of Engineering.
All right, thank you all. I appreciate you all joining. For you, probably this evening, for us this morning. So first of all, I wanted to just introduce you to the graduate degrees that we offer in our college. Um, and you can see all the degrees listed here. I'll talk a little bit about the difference between Master of Engineering and Master of Science. So a Master of Engineering is a non-thesis based degree, whereas a Master of Science is a thesis-based degree. So a Master of Science takes a little longer to complete, probably more like 2 to 3 year time frame versus a Master of Engineering. You could potentially get that degree done in 1 year. But we do give our international Master of Engineering students up to 5 semesters or a little less than 2 years to complete the degree along with their capstone and to graduate. All of our degrees, and you'll see this later in our slides, are STEM OPT eligible. So, this is kind of the comprehensive listing. You can go ahead to the next slide. All right. So we have a very large international population in our college. Probably about 70% of our graduate students are international. So what that means is we understand that many of you are coming to the United States for the first time, or many of your students are coming to the United States, and we have some built-in supports to help them. We have a staff person who is dedicated to helping our students, particularly with like job search in the US and how to write a resume for a US based employer, how to write a cover letter that is specialized for a US, particular job opportunity. So we have all those supports in place because we know that many of the students that come to us are doing so because they hope to gain employment in the United States upon graduation. As mentioned before, all our majors qualify for STEM OPT. And I just wanted to as you can see on the slide, we have a good track record of placement for students upon graduation. You can see those statistics here and some of the employers where our students have worked. That's like a 3 year average. Now, I know I don't have every single major listed. We took our 3 largest and provided that, but I can assure you that our other students in other majors do well also in terms of finding jobs post-graduation. In terms of scholarships offered to our incoming students, every single student that is admitted to our program and intends to study full time will be offered at least a partial scholarship at the time of admission. And as Hannah mentioned, no additional application is required to receive that scholarship. So, for example, now our PhD applicants at the time of admission, they will be granted a fully funded scholarship. So all tuition and fees, except for the international fee, will be covered by their scholarship, and they'll be given a stipend of approximately $28,000 per year, where they'll work for us about 20 hours a week as a TA, an RA, or a graduate assistant. Now, our master's students will not be given full scholarships at the time of admission. They will be offered partial scholarships at the time of admission. And the Master of Science scholarship, to be perfectly upfront, is a little more generous than the Master of Engineering scholarship. But for Master of Engineering students, they really only require 2 full-time semesters to complete their coursework, whereas Master of Science students, usually it's more like 3. So when you balance out living expenses and the additional semester of study, of full-time study, usually it's about equal costs overall for both Master of Engineering and Master of Science. Master of Engineering is unique in that really part built into the program is what's called a capstone experience, which means that students will do an internship or a project with a faculty member. Many choose the internship option as part of their degree, and that's a really nice way for students to get some work experience in the United States. That's really part of their curriculum. All right, you can go to the next slide. So these are just some of the admission requirements. Again, our English test score minimums are very similar to the universities. Our TOEFL minimum is a little higher, but the other tests are about equivalent to the other university degrees. We do require a 3.0 minimum on a 4.0 scale. You know, there are plenty of free online GPA calculator tools that you can use to figure out what your GPA is if, you know, it wasn't on a 4.0 scale in your bachelor's university. Most of our programs require GRE. We don't have a minimum requirement for GRE, but probably the average admitted score is about 310 on the quantitative and the verbal, and about 3.5 on the analytical writing. We do require a personal statement. Really 1 to 2 pages is sufficient. At least 1 letter of recommendation. Our priority deadline is January 15th, but our final deadline for most programs is March 31st. If you're interested in PhD, I really encourage you to try to meet the priority deadline, because, you know, we only have limited PhD slots that we can offer to students because we fully fund those students. And as a result, you really do need to get your application early so you can be considered early on before maybe those slots run out. Our application fee is $80. There are a few programs for which GRE is optional, and I've listed those programs here on the second half of the slide. So if you look there, and if you're interested in one of those programs, you do not have to provide GRE. But if your program of interest is not listed, then GRE would be required for you. Okay, I think that was it for my slides.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. First off, I would like to thank each and every one of you as international agents for the hard work that you do. We've had students, a large international population here with the College of Education, Criminal Justice, Human Services, and IT, who've actually come into our program, specifically from the hard work that each and every one of you do. My name is Scott Pena, and I work with graduate admissions here at the college. You can go ahead and go to the next slide. Before we start, I have a couple of guests I'd like to introduce you to. First guest is Dr. Jess Krupczynski. She is the director of our graduate programs with the School of Information Technology. She is literally the expert when it comes to the programs as well as information technology. So Dr. Jess, I'd like to introduce you first.
Hi, do you mind if I say a few things?
Please do.
Sure. So here in the School of Information Technology, we're really interested in using technology to solve problems. And so we are equipping students with both depth of knowledge of the breadth of the field. We're trying to give them some critical thinking skills to make sure they're selecting the best technology for a particular problem. And we're also giving them some hands-on applied skills. We have an advisory board of members of industry that help to inform our curriculum. They attend our classes as guest speakers, and they even hire students for internships and full-time employment. The students, as they're culminating part of their degree, have a choice between an industry project, a traditional capstone, or a thesis for those students that are interested in having a strong application to our PhD program. That industry project allows the students to work with industry on a culminating project for up to 2 semesters of U.S. employment before they graduate. In addition, they will be eligible for STEM OPT after graduation. This year, we are moving to a monthly review process for our Masters of Information Technology applications. So from the time a student applies, it will be reviewed within a month, and the decision will be released shortly after. We are giving the highest priority of scholarships to early applicants of the MSIT. So the sooner they apply, the better the chances that they'll get a scholarship. And we give our PhD students are all fully funded, and those applications are reviewed all together in one round after the deadline. We do offer some application fee waivers now, and those are based on financial hardship or demonstration of academic excellence. And that's a short application process if there's a student interested. And that's everything I'll say. Thank you for that time.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And the other person I'd like to introduce you to is Karen Gonzalez. Karen is our program coordinator for international students. She actually is there to help you, help the international students when they are getting ready to transition from their country over to the United States. She does all that hard work. So Karen, I'd like to introduce you, and if you could tell a bit about what you do.
Hi, good morning. My name is Karen Gonzalez Chinchilla. In the process of changing my last name. I basically work with incoming international students here in the College of CECH. And I just try to support whatever I can do with international services, just making sure that students are on track with their visa process. But not just that, but just make sure that they're ready to come, help with a little bit of acculturation, what to expect. And most importantly, is just to help them feel welcome and part of the community here in CECH. It's a pleasure to meet you, and I appreciate you all.
Thank you. And most of this information has already been talked about with Jess, so I'll just go ahead and talk a little bit more about some of the benefits of the program. Like Dr. Jess was talking about, STEM designated, 3 years of OPT, that tech to industry, we really want to get you that experience. We want to get the students the experience to prepare themselves for life after graduation. There's not really an IT background required. There's potential bridge courses that students can take to have a better understanding of the IT field. And there's focus areas that students can get involved with based on their preferences. We do have fall and spring semester start dates. Right now, the application is open for the fall semester. You're more than welcome to send me if you have questions, you can communicate with me directly. But right now, the priority deadline date is November 1st. So like Dr. Jess was talking about, if students are even remotely thinking about going to college, before they do anything, apply for this program for MSIT before they look at any other colleges, specifically look at UC. And right now they can apply for that best consideration deadline dates. And like Dr. Jess was talking about before, the scholarships are available for those top applicants. So really get those applications turned in as soon as possible so we can start reviewing those. The admission requirements, I really won't get into depth under the admission requirements. Like was discussed previously, for individuals who want to self-evaluate their GPA, there are tools available on our website that they can go through and review that, as well as a personal statement, letters of recommendation, the resume. All these information are taken in consideration specifically by our faculty. And also no GRE requirement. Again, students do need to have that 3.0 on a 4.0 scale to be able to be considered for the MSIT program. You can go to the next slide. So the other program I want to touch upon is the Master of Public Health, Health Education, Health Promotion. It is a STEM designated program. The program actually prepares students who want to live more, preparing individuals to understand the importance of health education and possibly become a certified health education specialist, certified individual. There's no healthcare degree required, completed in 1 to 1.5 year program. We have fall semester start dates. The admission requirements are a little bit different from this. There is an external application that students are required to complete before they start our application. And the rest of the information, the resume, the 3 letters of recommendation, is standard officially from as it pertains to the MSIT program. The fall semester is open for this program as well. So if individuals are thinking about applying for the fall, they actually have all the way till July 1st to apply. Although based on the time it takes to sometimes get visas completed, you might want to have your students, if they're into this program, communicate with me early so they can start their application. That is all the information I have for School of Information Technology and also part of the School of Human Services.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mary Hess, and I'm the Associate Director of Graduate Admissions in the Lindner College of Business. Excited to talk with you all today about our programs. So I've been working at Lindner for almost a year now. I've been at the University of Cincinnati for a little over 3 years, I think now. Time flies. Love it here, love Lindner, love UC, love working with international students. So I would be their point of contact for your students and your point of contact as well. But I'll give you a little bit of an overview of Lindner, our grad programs, and then some other things that we'll talk about. So we are an AACSB accredited college of business. So that's the highest accreditation for colleges of business throughout the world. So that's great and gives your students an opportunity to attend an AACSB accredited institution. We are ranked as, I believe, number 73 for top business colleges in the US via US News. And then we are number 3 for return on investment for our MBA program. And then we are a Carnegie One research institution, so that applies to the whole institution of University of Cincinnati. And something really great about Cincinnati, which is good for business students, but also all students, is that 7 Fortune 500 companies are headquartered in the Cincinnati region. So business students have opportunities to go into those companies, do an internship, get practical experience. Lindner brings a lot of these companies to campus. So they'll be in our atrium, like they've been in here the last few weeks just sitting, and students can come up to their table, talk to them about employment opportunities, internship opportunities, and just networking. And then to give you a sense of how many students are in Lindner, we have about 6,000 business students at UC, 1,300 graduate students, and about half of those students are international students. So we have a really diverse and international community over here in Lindner. You can go to the next slide. Thank you. So I can tell you a little bit about our different degree programs and go through the admissions requirements. So all of our master's degrees for the Lindner College of Business can be completed in 1 year. So we have accounting, applied economics, which is STEM designated, business analytics, which is STEM designated, finance, which is STEM designated, human resources, information systems, which is STEM designated, marketing, and then our Lindner MBA. So yes, all these programs can be completed within a calendar year. Our MBA was recently ranked as #1 for best value by College Atlas, so that's really exciting. A little bit, I can tell you a little bit about each of the programs. I'll highlight kind of the STEM ones in our MBA. So our Lindner MBA program is ranked really highly. It's a cohort of, we cap it at about 40 students. It's a good mix of international and domestic students. These students take all of their classes together. They do different professional development opportunities together. We have different guest speakers coming in from companies, local businesses. And it's a really great experience. It's a mix of students who have a couple years of work experience and then some who have been working for a long time. So that is one of our top programs. And then our other couple really popular programs for international students, business analytics, that's been consistently ranked in as a top data science program in the US. Our finance program, which is also STEM designated, has been ranked really highly, and students have come out with really great jobs from that program. And then applied economics, our academic director for that program, he actually consults for the World Bank. Super cool. So students are getting a really great experience with that program. And then information systems is a really great program as well. We have a lot of international students in that program. Just recently this summer, I was talking to one, and she was telling me about her practicum experience where she was working with one of our professors doing some web design and things like that. So, lots of great programs. Something else that's really great about Lindner is so most students do their master's degree, and then they also get a certificate along with the master's degree. So it's kind of like a specialization. So I have students getting an MBA and then getting like a certificate in AI. So that's our newest certificate. So students are able to take about 12 credits related to AI or marketing, or we have about 20 different certificates listed on our website, but you're able to kind of get 2 degrees for one, and it doesn't add any time because they are elective courses that go towards that degree. So that's something really great. The admission requirements are on the other side of the page. I'll kind of go over them real quick, but the top few things to note is we are test optional, so we do not require the GRE or GMAT for master's programs. Um, we require a CV or resume. We've changed it this year where we only need one letter of recommendation for all of our programs, a personal statement, their official English test scores, which are listed on here. The requirements are a little higher for business analytics, information systems, and marketing. And then our priority deadline is October 15th for international students, which is in about a month. And then our final deadline is March 15th for international students for the fall intake. We do take students for spring for a few of our programs, finance, information systems. I think that's it, but it's on our website. But the spring deadline, if people are interested in starting in January, is going to be October 1st. So that's kind of an overview of our admissions process. And then if students do have a 3-year bachelor's degree, when they are filling out the application, it will prompt them to complete a free WES degree evaluation equivalency to confirm US equivalency. So that's not costing them anything. That is just something they're doing during the application process. And like all the other programs, we're requiring their unofficial transcripts. A little bit of more information, just some student resources that we have for graduate international students and some post-graduation outcomes. So we do, similar to the College of Engineering, have a career coach dedicated to supporting graduate students. So Megan's really great. She has been here. She was hired recently just to focus on graduate students and work with them, help them with their resumes, career coaching, mock interviews, all of those kinds of things. So she's been a really great asset to our college and is super excited to work with students. She's also willing, like if students are applying and they have questions and want to talk about careers, she's willing to meet with them while they're applying, even before they're admitted. So that's a great resource as well. Just a few other statistics. We have a 96% employment rate upon graduation. That's an average for all of our programs together. Some it is a little lower and some it is a little higher. As I mentioned, seven Fortune 500 companies headquartered here, and then there are hundreds with a presence in Cincinnati. So these are just some of the places that students typically get jobs when they are finished with their program here. And then average starting salary is around 100,000 US dollars. And that's an average of all of our programs. Some it is going to be a little less, and then business analytics, information systems, that tends to even be higher. And then, as I mentioned, we do have those 4 STEM designated programs. So students will get that additional 2 years of OPT. And then just wanted to mention, this is not on the slides. We do host various information sessions for students throughout the year. There's one per individual program per month. We have coffee chats where students can come on and chat with a counselor. And then we also have some specialty sessions like an international application tips workshop. Once students are admitted, an international next steps workshop with our UC International office. And then something new that we've rolled out this year is we started a student ambassador program. So I have a group of about 25 student ambassadors who are getting degrees from Lindner that are willing to connect with your students and talk with them about their process, the program, their experience. So I think that's it for me, but it was great talking with you all, and thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, everyone. And that really segues perfect into kind of student success and alumni success. So, just highlighting a few students. So, this student is a PhD graduate of mechanical engineering in the year 2022. And she was able to get a job, get jobs at Intel, at NanoWorld, and really working on chip innovation. Through some of the research that we have through UC, she was able to gain those experiences and land those jobs. So really quite incredible work within our engineering college. And highlighting quickly our business college as well. So again, highlighting that 1-year MBA program. So this student was from India, educated all over the world, and then really just found it to be the perfect time within her life, within her career, to find that MBA program here at the University of Cincinnati. So our students, our alumni are really just doing absolutely incredible things. And really, just as it's been mentioned many times, Cincinnati is a wonderful city with a lot of opportunities. We have incredible programs here for all of our students, so much variety for them to choose from with that specialty of their interest. But we're also here for all of the holistic support, the networking that is critical for not only while they're in school and gaining that hands-on experience, but supporting for employment and jobs after graduation, as we've talked about before, really kind of being here through them through the entire application process as well. So being available to reach out to us with any questions. We're here to also facilitate connections with current students, as has already been mentioned. So it's really just we want to support students in as many ways as possible. And I really think we've just been able to do that through so many incredible coworkers here at UC to really just provide that tailored and dedicated support to all of our students who are applying. Okay, lastly, some of you may have seen this as well, but I cannot help but show this because this is a really quick, my absolute favorite video of 2 parents who graduated from UC and now bringing their son back to study at UC.
Oops, we can't hear the audio. Is it possible
Yeah.
for you to share your system audio?
Thank you for letting me know.
I love this video. It's so good.
Can you hear the video? Can you hear the audio now?
No,
Okay,
not yet.
unfortunately, I won't be able to, but it is available on our YouTube page and I can share it out if anyone wants to watch it. It's really a heartwarming video of kind of a generational story of parents and then they're bringing their son back to UC to study because that's where they met and the experience was transformative for them. Okay, so you know our contact information for undergrad. It's us at International Admissions at UC undergrad, and then grad is the general grad admissions. But of course, you can reach out to more specifically for each college as well if you have more specific program questions. Okay, and now I do want to go ahead and take some questions as we have quite a lot in the chat. So let me go ahead and pull those up and we'll get those answered first. Do we accept an educational gap? So I don't know if this is for a specific program, but if you each want to address it real quick, if it's they're concerned within your program, if students have a gap in their education.
I mean, we have many of our students work in industry and then decide to go back and get a graduate degree. So that's not a problem for us. We can have students that come directly from bachelor's or work in industry for a while and then come back. No issues at all.
And then for the School of IT, we do accept students, and this is from Dr. Jess as well. We do accept students that take a gap year between bachelor's and master's. Many of our students have graduated in electrical engineering, then realize that they have an interest in IT through industry work, then have come back to us with some industry experience as well.
And for the College of Business, yeah, we have students who are coming right from a bachelor's degree, and then we have a lot of students that have worked in industry for a few years and then decide to get a degree. For our MBA, we do kind of prefer that they have at least 1 year of work experience, so that's no problem at all.
Perfect. Thank you. Jumping to the next question. What is the admission and I-20 turnaround time? So I can answer kind of the I-20 turnaround time. It really just depends, but our office is incredibly fast. So I would say if everything is correctly submitted within the student immigration portal, which is called the iBearcats Global Portal, that they'll need to submit everything directly onto. That's their bank statements that show proof of the amount for the I-20 listed. It can be done maybe within 1 to 2 business weeks, typically. Now, it may be a little bit longer during peak times when our office is trying to process a lot of I-20s, but typically our office is very, very fast within that I-20 turnaround time, ensuring all documents submitted are correct. Admission, again, those decision release times do vary. Jess has mentioned that within the College of Education, Criminal Justice, and Human Services, CECH, it takes about 5 to 6 weeks. So, Mary, if you want to mention about business and Julie about CEAS.
Yeah, so this year we've instituted, which I didn't go over, but it's on our website, a round structure. So if somebody applies by October 15th, they're going to receive a decision by November 15th. So within a month, students are going to be receiving their decision, ideally within 2 to 3 weeks. So that's kind of our timeline for the College of Business for decision release.
Yeah, for College of Engineering and Applied Science, it somewhat varies. We do have rolling admission, so it's not that there's one specific day when everybody will receive a decision. We're going to try this year, fingers crossed, for our Master of Engineering applicants to do more of an automated decision. So like we'll kind of use AI to help us and navigate the applications and hopefully be able to get those decisions out like to our top candidates for Master of Engineering faster. And then PhD is really very, very individualized because, you know, you have to be in alignment with like a current faculty member's research, you know, to get admission. But whereas master's degrees, you know, we're hoping to get like faster decisions to people.
Great, thank you. And really, I think just the overarching theme again that we can tell students as many times as we can is just don't wait. So the sooner the better. If they have everything ready, the faster they can potentially receive that decision and potentially more scholarship as well. And really, then they can start moving forward with the necessary steps, such as getting that I-20 a bit faster. All of those instructions, as soon as they start that application, are going to go to their emails. So it's really critical students do check their emails and their UC email once they get admitted, because that's going to be where all of those instructions are for getting that document submitted for the I-20 in that iBearcats Global Portal. So it's very clear instructions. Students just need to follow it and in a very timely manner if possible so that we can get them supported and here on time for the start of classes. Another question, how is MPH and the use of SOFAs, is that tagged? So I don't have an automated system or a way that I'm aware of that you can be tagged directly in the SOFAS application. So what I've typically asked people to do is just you can email me or my colleague Seth directly, and we will make sure we can tag that on the back end. Another question for Scott. What is the PTE requirement for MSIT? Oh, and I think Jess answered it. Yep,
Yes, so
Yep,
repeat,
the
that's a
minimum is
good question.
54.
perfect. Thank you, Jess. We have some emails in there, so please do feel free again to reach out to Scott. He's put his email in there. Julie has linked some webinars for CECH, and Mary has, I'm sorry, engineering, and Mary has linked information for business as well. Do we accept backlogs? Yeah, so we don't look at backlogs for students who are submitting their application.
There is a question about the Scalario GPA. So for students who are self-reporting, Scalario GPA calculator is on the website. There's a link on there. Just remember, for students who do complete these for MSIT and for MPH, that is a self-evaluation. For students who are admitted and confirmed into our program, they are required to get the official NACES evaluation, and that's where West could play a factor in that because that's part of that as well. So the Scalario is one of the ways that we can go through and have students self-evaluate. When they go to the NACES website, there's a list of different organizations that they can use to go through and have their official evaluation sent from West or from NACES.
Perfect. I think that is all the questions that I see in the chat. I'll give it maybe one more minute if anyone has any lingering questions. Okay, well, it's wonderful to see. I see some familiar names here in this webinar. So thank you all so much for joining us today. Really appreciate your time. As always, feel free to reach out to any of us with questions, and we're here to support you. Have a great evening, and thank you as well to our wonderful guest speakers. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.